Stream, but I found it in me. Maybe it was the Lord who told me, but I'm gonna stream and read chapter 4. So yesterday we read chapter 3, which was Solomon uh, prayed to the Lord for wisdom, and the Lord gave him that wisdom, and he judged two women who were arguing over a child, and his wisdom given by the Lord allowed him to discover he was get a sword, and whoever was the mother feared that the child would get killed, and the other one didn't even care, just wanted it to be killed so that nobody could have it, to get revenge. So that's how Solomon found out who was the mother. All right, we're going to read chapter 4, Solomon's officials. Now King Solomon was so king over all Israel. These were his officials. Azariah, the son of Zadok, was the priest. Elihoreph and Ahijah, the sons of Shisha, were scribes. Jehoshaphat, the son of Alahud, was the secretary, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the army. And Zadok and Abiathar were priests, and Azariah, the son of Nathan, was over the deputies. And Zabud was the son of Nathan, a priest, was the king's confidant, and Abishar was over the household. And Adoniram, the son of Abda, was over the forced labor. Solomon had 12 deputies over all Israel who provided food for the king and his household. Each deputy had to provide food for a month in the year, and these were his names: Benner, in the hill country of Ephraim; Ben Diker in Machaz, and Shalbim, and Beth Shemesh, and Elon Beth Hanan; Ben Hesed, and Aruboth. Zoko was his in all the land of Hepher, and Ben-Adibadad in all the hills of Dor. Tapheth, the daughter of Solomon, was his wife. Baana, the son of Elihud, and Tanakh, and Megiddo, and all Beth Shean, which beside Zarethan, below Jezreel, from Beth Shean to Abel Meholah, as far as the other side of Jokmeam. Ben Geber and Ramoth Gilead, the villages of Jair, the son of Manasseh, which were in Gilead, were his. The region of Argob, which is in Bashan, 60 great walls with cities with walls and bronze bars were his. Ahinadab, the son of Iddo, in Mahanaim, Ahimaz, and Naphtali. He also married Basemath, the daughter of Solomon, Baana, the son of Hushai, in Asher, and Bealoth. Jehoshaphat, the son of Paruah, in Issachar, or Issachar. Shimei, the son of Elah, in Benjamin. Geber, the son of Uri, in the land of Gilead, the country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og, king of Bashan. And he was the only deputy who was in the land. So this section is summing up his officials. 12 deputies, which represent, if you didn't know, 12 disciples, Jesus, and 12 tribes of Israel. In fact, there's Ephraim involved in there among them. Solomon's power, wealth, and wisdom. What does that mean, Metro? God bless you, by the way. Welcome in. I said I was gonna take a break, but I felt like I couldn't let this go to waste. This day go to waste. So, yeah, probably just gonna read chapter 4, to be honest. Solomon's power, wisdom, wealth, and wisdom. Judah and Israel were as numerous as the sand that is on the seashore in abundance. They were eating, drinking, and rejoicing. Now Solomon was ruling all the kingdoms from the Euphrates River to the land of the Philistines, and brought to the border of Egypt. They brought tribute and served Solomon all the days of his life. I sent you on Instagram. I'll check it out after I finish chapter 5. By the way, chapter 4. We're just reading chapter 4 tonight. But yeah, Solomon's provision for one day was 30 cores of fine flour and 60 cores of meal, 10 fat oxen, 20 pasture-fed oxen, and 100 sheep, besides deer, gazelles, roebucks, and fattened geese. For he was ruling over everything west of the Euphrates River, from Tifsa even to Gaza. over all the kings west of the river, and he had peace on all sides surrounding him. So Judah and Israel lived securely, everyone under his vine and his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots, and 12,000 horsemen, and those deputies provided food for King Solomon and all who came to King Solomon's table, each in his month. They allowed nothing to be lacking. They also brought barley and straw for the war horses and baggage horses to the place where it was required, each deputy according to his duty. Now God gave Solomon wisdom and very great discernment and breadth of mind, like the sand that is on the seashore. Solomon's wisdom surpassed the wisdom of all the people of the east and all the wisdom of Egypt, for he was wiser than all other people, more than Ethan the Ezrahite, Heman, Calcol, and Darda, the sons of Mahal, and his fame was known in all the surrounding nations. He also told 3,000 proverbs, and his songs numbered 1,005. Wow. He told of trees from the cedar that is in Lebanon, even to the hyssop that grows on the wall. He told also of animals, birds, crawling things, and fish. People came from all the nations to hear the wisdom of Solomon, from all the kings of the earth who had heard of his wisdom. The word of the Lord. Praise be to God. Okay, so, yeah, that's going to be it, by the way. That's all we're going to read, chapter 4. So you sent something on the gram. Well, you sent me this from what was it? From Monday. Whoa. Is that an umbrella? I think that's a little bit overboard, but I mean, bone apple teeth if you want to use that. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry. So this section of chapter 4, yeah, basically Solomon was blessed by the Lord previously in chapter 3 with wisdom, of course. He was also blessed with riches and what else? And honor. And yeah, he was blessed with that in chapter 3. And then Judah, what's it called? I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry. Yeah, he was blessed with all that, and he ruled, and he told stories of trees, and he wrote 3,000 proverbs and 1,005 songs. You need fabric over your canopy frame? Well, God bless you, bubonic personified. Happy Saturday, Christian. God bless you. Welcome in. Oh, man. I wasn't even thinking of streaming. Well, I was thinking of streaming sometime, but then somewhere along the way, I decided I wasn't going to stream, but I decided, I was going to take a break instead. But, I took the chance. I didn't want this stream to go to waste. But I'm still contemplating to take a break because there's times where, I feel like I need to take a break from all technology, because it's really screwing with me and my sleep. You know, getting addicted with technology is not fun. Like, in a moment it feels fun, but at the same time, um, once the damage is done, you're just gonna feel bogged out. Um, but yeah, Christian and bubonic, God bless y'all. And also you too, Metro. God bless you too. All right. Oh man. You ever gotten one of those feelings like you feel so down in the dumps you don't even want to touch your phone or your laptop or whatever. You just want to disconnect and do something that you actually enjoy. That's how I feel. Like, and the one thing that I use my phone for every day is to read the Bible and stream it on YouTube. But yeah, like I said, I was seriously considering taking a break. I'm glad to I'm glad to see you were streaming tonight. Yeah. Um Absolutely. That's a feeling I've gotten whenever people do things to make me severely upset and angry. I just want to disconnect. Yeah, exactly. You want to disconnect and you basically don't want to hear it at all. Um yeah, that's basically how I felt. Um yeah. Not only that, but depending on what it was that upset me, I probably won't want to eat either. Yeah, I was even considering, I guess, fasting in a way. Although, rage fasting, maybe not that seriously, but sort of in a way. I don't know. I was so grogged out. I didn't even know what I wanted to do in my life for a moment. But yeah, so many things were running um, through my head, and I was like, I'm just gonna disconnect from everything. I don't, I know I'm, I was literally, I know I'm gonna let down some people if I don't stream the Bible today, but honestly, it's just, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It's, it's pretty crazy. That one incident in 2021 made me feel that way. I felt defeated and angry and lost my appetite. Well, for me, I guess it came down to the NFL game. Uh, like, I didn't, I said I wanted to watch it, but at the same time, I didn't feel, I guess, committed to that anymore. And for that reason, I don't know. I was watching the Broncos and the Bills, and my mom wanted to go to the gym, and I told her wait until if you let me wait until the end of the game. But at the same time, I felt bad for her, and from there on, the NFL, I don't know. I just realized that I really don't feel. I, I don't know. Um, I guess I don't feel that committed anymore. It's taken a lot of time. It's it's caused a lot of time of the day to be used up now that I realize it. And for that reason, one of the TVs in the gym might have had the game on. Well, it is Saturday, but I mean, it is Saturday, so the ladies who run the TV probably had it off. I don't remember, but at the same time, I felt that from the comfort of my home, it, I don't know, I felt a lot more secure watching it at home. Um, so maybe I can relate to this as well. I had too much time used up by clients who want work done but don't want to pay for it. This caused me to do some major reorganizing. Yeah, it's tough. Real tough. You know, Metro can relate to that. Metro said once that there's these people who are, you know, who tell them this and that, and then Metro gives directions, and then the people are like, no, but you don't get it, and they question him like if he doesn't know what he's doing. Um, real tough, real tough on Metro for that regard. I'm not in a business any business, so I can't say what's going on. But yeah, some people can be really controlling. Um, yeah. Basically, I was like, I'm tired of all this, what I'm doing. What have I done? I felt like I've wasted lots of time watching football when I could have used it in my with family. That's how I'll be honest, that's how I felt. It came to the point where watching football doesn't feel fulfilling anymore because of how long it goes. So when people try to start controlling me, well, let's just say I don't kindly take it. That is one of the easiest ways to get to my ugly side out of me. Yeah. So um happy to say that I have not seen that. So if I ever see that, well, yikes. What is um You will never see my ugly side because you're one of the few people in this world who could never anger me. Oh, thank you. Um, I'm happy that you feel that way. Um, yeah. I try not to be in one's, I guess, shoes, like, or not shoes, but I try not to meddle with anybody. So I try to be submissive and, well, I don't know if submissive is the right word to call it, but I try to be understanding. And I didn't say that about everyone. I can um, honestly say that statement only applies to less than a handful of people. Wow. Um, if that's how you feel, then I'm probably in for a disappointment if I ever took one of your jobs. Not because I don't like the job, but because the customers, they'll probably be um, treating you or treating me the same way that they treat you. So, or maybe not. Maybe, well, we'll see. All I can say is hang in there. Ask the Lord for strength. He will fortify you, and He's going to let you know that, look, I know you've been through some trouble, and I've had you struggle through this, but now here's your reward. Um, I've taken, um, man, I've taken many of these feelings, these blessings, for granted. I'll be honest. Um, when the whole world could use a a message that will get them through the days. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Um, all right. Well, before I go, because I do want to get, well, God will give the strength to endure these times where you feel your activities are not worth it. Yeah, I can say honestly that He gave me strength as well. I was I was feeling extremely out of it to the point where I didn't even want to stream anymore. And honestly, I'm still considering a break because you know how you get fed up with technology and you just want to take a break from that? Um, that's me, basically. And also, there's that, and uh, uh, here's the thing though. Um, you take a break, but at the same time, I have this Bible reading that I do live right now. And if I put my phone away or any kind of technology, that means that I might have to sacrifice that as well. So, I mean, unless I find that discipline, if the Lord gives it to me, God wants to continue. Please don't feel tired out of sharing His word. You know, um, it's not even because, well, I don't know. I just really want to take a technology break. Um, for me, I remember feeling this way, but only with social media. That was 10 years ago. And to this day, I still feel a need to take a break from social media on the personal side. Yeah, that's me as well. Um, Here's the thing, I have poor discipline when it comes to not going on to Instagram or Facebook or X or any of those other sites. So, you know, I'm still kind of on the fence. Like, I don't know. On the business side, I like to stay somewhat active, but on the personal side, I just don't feel up to it anymore. Once I left college, I practically quit because I never had anything exciting. Yeah, very, um, very relatable uh, to me in a way. Um, I was posting all the time during high school and college, but after that, things just flat out went horrible for the next few years. Yeah, I I get that, um, and I don't blame you. I just I'm easily addicted to scrolling onto Safari, going into Instagram, Facebook, X, Instagram, Facebook, X, Instagram, Facebook, X. Not even just to do anything, just to see what people posted, and I'm easily addicted to that. And uh, yeah, I don't know what to say other than the fact that uh, yeah, I I I definitely need help. I was supposed to, sorry. 2014, 2016 were not great years, especially 2016. Things didn't start feeling great again until 2017. This is my first year as a business owner. Mm, yeah. And now look where you are right now. You're a business owner, and you're successfully serving your community. 2014 and 16 were full of toxic people I never want to see again. Oh man. Um, I surely will have my share of toxic people I never want to see again. Um, I'm forever thankful to God that I was able to run free from those past jobs to run CDG. Um, I'm thankful that God listened to you, um, and allowed you to have that privilege of running that business. In college, there was tons of people I say there is. I can't say there is anyone there I didn't like. Or in college, there were tons of people I liked. I can't say there was anyone there I didn't like. Yeah. College, for me, there were some. I can't really say there was anyone I didn't like per se. All I can say, well, maybe there was every once in a while some people who, um, I guess, were somewhat pushy, and then there were some others who treated me like a father figure or a mother figure, and I highly appreciate those people. So, in high school, it was a mix of people I miss to this day and a mix of people I'm glad I don't have to see anymore. Aww. um, yeah, like I said, I'm just grateful that the Lord has allowed you to do what you do, and for that reason, He deserves all the glory. You know what else may have contributed to that? I slept at, I think, 2-ish. And I think this also affects my mom in a way now. I'm starting to register it into my mind. I've slept at 2, and my mom waits for me to go sleep as well. And we go sleep, and we wake up at like 10 or 11. Today I woke up at 11. Even though I slept from 2-ish to 11-ish, I I didn't feel like I slept well. I still felt like I could have slept better, and that also contributed to that ugly feeling. I can only think of maybe 4 people tops that I have seen from high school within the past 9 years or so. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's sad. Some people will go. Some people are here to stay, though. So, um, I sometimes have bouts of sleepless nights myself, even when I go to bed early, though. Yeah. Um, Sleep is big and underappreciated, I guess. Um, you can't go about your day without sleep. You're just gonna, you're just gonna wake up and you're gonna see the whole world upside down. And you're gonna be like me, like, I don't want to do all these things anymore. So, kids, if you're watching this, go to sleep at 10, 10 latest. Otherwise, you're going to end up like me today. I'll keep praying for you so you can get your strength back. Man, you pray for me, and I've not done a great job of remembering to pray. Uh, that's another thing I need to do. You've prayed for me so many times, and now I have to return the favor. Like I sometimes pray uh, for people, but I'm not, I'm not good at remembering. All right. Um, so if you're wondering, what I've been doing, um, I'm going to show you here. Don't feel bad. I often forget to pray for others as well. Yeah. Um, my habits, though, are worse. I can say that for sure. All right. So, this is me. Now, let's get that score bug up. And when you hide it, this is what it looks like. Here it is again. So the opening animation, it's like the suspense, and then it reveals with these, like, lit up squares of light, and then the edges. I think I was inspired by what CBS did for their scorebug, and maybe to an extent NBC. So, and then on this one, I just removed the white edge of this square and just made it by itself. And then for the hide, when you hide it, this is what it looks like. It's like some chevrons animate one last time, close up. All right, and the overlay, which will debut very soon. There you have it. The bottom. How many frames per second does it animate in? It animates in 60 frames per second. I'm able to get it to animate in 60 frames per second this time because my laptop can handle it. Previously, it wasn't able to. My other laptops are not able to. Um, Unfortunately, my HP webcam is only available in 30 frames per second, I guess. But, you know, uh, it's still much better camera than my other HP. The other HP, unless you had great lighting, it would be very much, um, what's it called? Grainy. And the Dell that I have, well, it's slow, so, it's not good. Be careful when rendering animations because if you exceed your computer's limits, it could burn out the GPU. Oh, oh man. Yeah. It was a more complex animation, and I tried to, hopefully my GPU is all right, but it did take on a heavy load. I'll just leave it at that. A gaming PC is recommended when doing video editing and graphics. Yeah, sorry. Oh well. Um All that's needed though is a aka a score animation like a goal or touchdown or home run. Um, but yeah, I think we're all Gucci. Just looking out for you. I don't want to exceed it. I don't want your computer to exceed its limits and die. Yeah, sorry about that. um, yeah, hopefully this is the only time that I'll, you know, that this will happen. Um, because yeah, we don't want we don't want this PC to die. It's too young of a computer in order to die. It is. Overall, you are doing a fantastic job on your score, bugs, and graphics. Thank you. If you were using Adobe After Effects or a similar software, then your computer would probably need to be upgraded. Yeah, thankfully though, I'm not using any of that. I'm just using an online thing called SVG Aider, which is a online website that lets you design SVGs. And um, I'm also using um, Pixlr as my image rendering image maker, I guess. Um, what else? And Shotcut for video editing, and OBS for the streams. So yeah, that's where we stand. Monday. Oh, gracias. The online software thankfully don't use up a ton of resources since they are powered by web technology, but desktop apps are a whole different ballgame because they can hog resources. Yeah, um, they use up a lot of memory. In fact, you're probably not going to be happy, but my my computer um, crashed twice. Both instances, I believe, were uh, the error code was memory management. But yeah, we're now going to be careful with that. Very much so. As someone who's used Adobe for 15 years, I can attest to the fact that many of their programs are huge memory hogs. Even just the graphic editors like Illustrator and Photoshop. Have they gotten better since going cloud? Nope. Yeah. Um, a lot of people really love those softwares, but I prefer to go old school and just use simpler software instead of this, uh, instead of the new wage software that is by means of this. Yeah. Where did my other one go? I've used the local not clouds and the clouds, and which I must say the community hotly railed against because they don't want to pay monthly fees. And that was in 2013. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna just work with what I have. I've used the software named Aurora 3D animation software for many of the older graphic stuff that I used to do. And while it was probably the biggest piece of junk with how much I could actually do, it was one of the best, or it was one of my favorite softwares to do, because while it looks crappy on the surface, it actually has proven pretty useful. It has. Adobe anchored the creative community when they went all cloud. It was mainly to fight piracy and to save costs. I mean, is there one, uh, you know, how, how many software programs have not gone cloud nowadays? Affinity is free, used to be paid until being acquired by Canva, and directly competes with Adobe's programs. It combines Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign into one app. Uh-huh. I've heard people use Adobe Illustrator, and all I can say is not only does it seem too complicated and sophisticated for me, I just prefer using, um, it feels much more organic to use the more simpler of the softwares. Even if you can't do many of the same things you could do in those other more sophisticated programs, I think it's still, I think, yeah, I prefer this one. I just do. And I'm happy to report Affinity is not a huge memory hog. Or, sorry, Adobe spearheaded the cloud movement. After they went cloud, every other company followed and jumped on the bandwagon. And I'm happy to report Affinity is not a huge memory hog like the Adobe is. And by the way, InDesign is used to make print. The industry uses it for newspapers, magazines, brochures, and other types of print materials. Adobe going all cloud was no different than when Comcast began encrypting the basic cable, where a box was required just to watch basic channels, which was never required before. Similar principle. Yeah, just get an indoor antenna at least, or an outdoor antenna if you really want better quality. It's cheaper and it does the job. Comcast wanted to fight cable theft the same way Adobe wanted to fight piracy. Yeah. And people will complain, oh, it was just a money thing. Well, in reality, I just think that people took advantage too much of things, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Adobe CEO actually admitted that despite going cloud, he said people could pirate the software that they really wanted to. I found that statement so crazy. Back in the day, you had basic cable, you didn't need a box, just a coax cable running from the outlet to the TV. Well, now, actually, my mom's inside the room, but I'm gonna bring out something. We've got Lee antenna, as my friend Calvin would say. It's a French antenna. Sorry to all the French people if my intent is not to offend. I'm just, trying to be humorous. But this is an antenna, an outdoor antenna, and I've not installed it because the manual says that you have to install it using a 70 ohm resistor grounding block or whatever, 70 ohm grounding block. And sadly, we have not found those in the store. Basic cable was dirt cheap too. Back when since they made people start getting boxes, the price went up, and I don't think it's by coincidence that they did this right after buying NBC Universal. That antenna looks like a spaceship. Installing an outdoor antenna seems like a ton of work. Yeah, you probably need to get someone to install it, and that resistor might be found on eBay. And we got Adam. God bless you, my friend, and welcome in. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to stream, but I just felt like I couldn't pass this up. Yeah, like I said, folks, I was heavily considering taking a break because I was so fed up with I guess how life went, like you know. I guess my thing is I didn't sleep well. I know I slept 9 hours, but I still didn't sleep well. I probably have to sleep for 10 hours or so. By the way, Adam, you want to see surprise? Here you go. Let's see that again. Oh, that's sexy. Oh, thank you. And of course the overlay. This is what it's gonna look like. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Here we go. This is what the overlay looks like right now. I'll say I improved when it comes to being grumpy for not eating. I used to be angry that a bunch of bees whose nest was served if I went all day without eating something. Oh, poor you. Nowadays I can handle it even when I am starving. Yeah. I think I've gotten worse. Now, well, my mom can attest to that, and when she hasn't eaten, she starts panicking and being so angry. And same thing if she doesn't sleep well. And now I'm starting to feel that effect. Yeah, Adam. I'm gonna have to show you how to install this scorebug. Ideally, what you would when the time comes, I'll show you how to install it, how to do it. Because ideally, what I could do is I could give you the same overlay, what I could do is I could export this overlay and just, you know, uh, send it to you and have you download the files to complete this overlay. But I don't think you're going to. Last time we tried that, OBS didn't even open up the sorry, it's not an overlay. It's called a scene collection. Um, so this scene collection. We tried doing this once, Adam, and it just showed black. So I want to try that again, but I am also preparing for the event that we can't get this installed. That instead we're going to have to, you know, um, resort to something else. Um, with the score bug, of course. And so in that case, I'll have to show you how to manually input every setting to get the score bug working. Um, uh, um, it'll be in the coming weeks for sure. Maybe next week. I'm not certain though. I've gone a lot of days without eating until near the end of the day. A friend told me I looked like I lost weight. Now that I think about it, just out of curiosity, have you fasted before? I've heard people, they say they fasted, and I'm like, oh, what? You mean to tell me that they actually went some time without eating? I couldn't imagine that myself. You're the master when it comes to designing these scorebooks and working with OBS. Oh, thank you. I just try to visualize it as I can. It's not going to be perfect because OBS isn't perfect, but I mean, I try my best. But in the end, it's not even me. It's God that gives me these tools that I can work with and these ideas. Every idea that has been inputted, I'll say right now, God worked it out for me. I didn't even do S word. The overlay is just a link, right? Yeah. The overlay with this and that. Well, if you're sorry, this overlay that just shows this. Yes, it's just a link. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open up. You're gonna go here and then to browser, and you're gonna click OK. And then when you get that overlay, you're gonna paste the link right there where it says URL, and then width is going to be 1920, height 1080. Control audio via OBS, and yeah. As a graphic designer, I've taken a special interest in scorebug design. Yeah. I guess my first scorebug was the one from FSN. They've used it from 2005 to 2008. The one where the last one where the whole top of the screen was taken over by the scorebug. My earliest memory of a scorebug ever. I did my first fast a week ago, but it wasn't an all-day fast. The pastor said we should try to do it at least from 6 to 12 p.m., 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., or longer if possible. I probably went up to 5 p.m. tops. Wow. God gives us the tools, the strength, and the ideas, and the ability to create. Exactly. Yeah, fasting. I want to the day that I do fast, which will probably be on Wednesday. I'll probably do like a 24-hour fast. I know that sounds crazy, and I might not end up actually fasting for 24 hours if when that happens, but that's what I'm at right now. So that's how I imagine people fasted back in biblical times, probably even more. I like the purple chevrons on the left of your overlay bug. Yeah, that was inspired by that CBS score bug from last year, or from last NFL season. Sometimes they would have the the one of the graphics on top of the score bug that says next team who scores wins, and it had the logo of both teams on the side, and there would be a chevron design kind of like this one, but with only one chevron on the side, and that's where it was inspired. And the texture of that thing is also inspired from that. I'm learning some new things here too. For one thing, I didn't know you can control on-screen elements with CSS. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, that's what I did to get this new overlay onto onto uh, stream elements. All the elements of the overlay that were SVGs. I used OBS, or sorry, not OBS, Stream Elements. I went into CSS and pasted the code in there. When I was in college, I made President's Honor Roll right before I graduated. I gave God all the glory and the thanks because I didn't deserve credit for that. God does. Hey, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, in the end of the day, God deserves every ounce of glory. Do we give it to Him always? No. Should we? Yes. He's way too good not to be acknowledged, and I like that. I like that, Christian. I really like that small detail. Small detail that proves you have a big heart for God. Move over ESPN. CBS has the best graphics, especially its final score. But yeah, I wonder because they have the Super Bowl next year, and ESPN will introduce some new graphics by then, and we'll see if they are still mouth watering. You're doing the right thing by using SVG. As a web designer, we use CSS coding all the time in conjunction with HTML. You're doing the right thing by using SVG. Using vector graphics keeps the quality stellar. Using raster graphics, which are pixel-based, are at risk of blurring out. Yeah, and pixelation. In print design or high-resolution on-screen graphics, using raster graphics is a huge bozo no-no. Using vectors such as EPS, SVG AI, or CDR Core iDraw are the best fail-safe options. I'm begging CBS, no matter what changes that they make, to keep their final score bug. Even if they modified it, it needs to stay somewhat the same. Maybe they'll make something even better. We'll see. We'll see. But, you know, it looks good, yes. Or actually, that reminds me of the raster versus vector graphics. It reminds me. I think CBS uses a lot of pre-rendered graphics, like they're already exported, and then some of the simpler animations or some of the animations that their engine can handle, they're rendered in real time. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like some of their graphics are I guess pre-rendered. That doesn't make it any worse. Um, but yeah, I do get that feeling. In broadcast TV, when it comes to graphics, it's best to use these for web on-screen animation that don't need to be shown in high resolution. JPG, PNG, GIF, and PSD are fine in these cases. By the way, do y'all um, I, um, do y'all pronounce GIF as GIF or GIF? GIF like the peanut butter or GIF like a present? Comment down below. In broadcast TV, that is the case. They are pre-rendered and called on cue by the producer when needed. Yeah. Like CVS, when the team logos are shown, they're often pre-rendered. I get the sense. NBC, I think, is one of the few that can handle some like Xbox, their animations were rendered on the go. I pronounce it like GIF as the present. And by the way, PSD is Photoshop documents. Trademarked by Adobe Incorporated. Pre-rendering saves time and possibly resources. Yeah, it does. I feel like I don't know. I feel like NBC could be one of the only people that can handle the whole rendering stuff. Maybe that's just me. AI is Adobe Illustrator, which is basically a re-engineered version of EPS. Pre-rendering and special events. They're dedicated to sports. Perhaps. That could be the case. Sorry. I'm just messing a little bit more with these things. Also, because ESPN simulcasts with ABC, so they need the extra manpower. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they have the capabilities to do it, so I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that they have such a uh, they have one of the most expensive of the packages, so you'd think that they would allow for some, I guess, higher quality engines and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Also, uh, in other news, a judge rejected Paramount's lawsuit. You mean it's over? Because last time I read it, I it I think it said they rejected to expedite it to accelerate it to, I guess, I don't know. That's what I read last time. Sometimes ESPN does partner with Fox as well due to them being a distant cousin. Mm. Yeah, I guess that's true. Um, y'all want to see what I'm doing? I'm just trying to darken these things because I want to also incorporate these challenge thingies, the these challenge marks, so that they could tell, you know, when there's a challenge or how many challenges each team has. Or maybe I'm doing too much. Many networks do not incorporate that. In fact, I don't think anybody does. You're right, I didn't get to read the article because of paywall and misread the excerpt. The judge refused to expedite the suit. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty long, I guess. Yeah. What we could do, uh, maybe, if Paramount wins the lawsuit, maybe they won't acquire them, but perhaps Comcast could acquire it, except they have to divest from whatever networks. I wanted to see the NHL possibly go to CBS. Maybe it could if Paramount Skydance decides to buy the spinoff of Warner Brothers Discovery, Discovery Global, I think he said. But I don't think I don't know. I guess they're just not that into it. You know what? I'm just gonna remove these marks. I don't see Comcast and Paramount merging to the distribution requirements. Neither side is gonna. No, I meant Comcast and Warner Brothers Discovery. Or wait, sorry. Yeah, Comcast and Warner Brothers Discovery. Or sorry, no. Never mind. They just said that they're not going to follow through. I remembered. Yeah. Okay. Forget what I said. Uh, yeah, they gave up. They said game over. Well,
In that case, if Warner Brothers lost a lawsuit to Paramount, would that mean that Netflix's deal would be nullified, or could they renegotiate and then buy it again? Or this scoreboard file's already on OneDrive? No, not yet. But actually, you know what? I'm going to delete all of this. I'm going to replace all the files on the folder and rename it S.O.S. Media Incorporated. I'm going to delete this as well. I'll get it up in just a moment. Just first, I need to rename this. And I've deleted a bunch of files that are not visible anymore, so we'll leave PNG first, and then I guess I'll go with this. It'll be up in just a moment. I only did yeah, right now they're being uploaded, Adam, so just be patient. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, they're almost there. I was gonna wait for a little bit, but Paramount is the only party interested in the entire company. All I can say is if they did buy it, then they would have a heck of a time trying to trim the fight. It's hard to say what would happen in this case. Yeah. Trim the fat. Oh man. Trim the fight. Now that would be something. Yeah, see? I also need to get a we need to work on a new So we will also work on that as well. If it were up to me, I'd put these networks for sale. HLN, Cartoon Network, Logo, TV, Land, MTV, VH1, Bet, Nicktoons Network, Discovery Family, Destination America. All the cable networks. Yeah. Cable is dead. Very much dead. Oh, that's what I'm working on. I'd also sell to CMT Teen Nick the 25% stake in the CW and buy Renee its Food Network's then at the Star Gold. Sorry. But now I'm just working on the for a little bit, and then oh, sorry. Not that. Okay. Here we go, Carol. What else is on National Amusements movie theater chain? It would be funny if Netflix would acquire it. It'd be pretty hilarious. Like, what could they possibly use it for? Well, maybe they could, I guess, bring theater to their diet. That was my stomach. I feel like Netflix will fire everything. But buy theaters just shut them down. Oof. Yeah. Netflix will get a 17-day window in theaters and move to streaming. Didn't the CEO say that they could get a 45-day window? I think that's what they said. Netflix 45-day window. Netflix wants to keep Warner Brothers movies in theaters for 45-day window, says Ted Sarandos. I want to win the box office. Yeah, Netflix. You can't trust Netflix. That's all I'll say. It's just like what would have happened with the Kroger-Albertsons merger happened. Wanted to dissolve Albertsons and several others of their brands like Randall's. Same principle. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. My mom is officially here, so I have to go sleep in a few moments. But yeah, folks, I'm gonna head out and let her get ready. And let me close this. But all those Randall's is a Kroger. There's no way in the world that Kroger was going to keep outdated Randall's over their own named stores. Yeah. Thanks for streaming, brother. God bless you. Anytime. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Christian. And thank you, Metro. And thank you, what was his name? Bubonic Personified. Thank you all for tuning in. Good night, everybody. Let me put this away. that way. God bless you too, Christian. Things I want to do is I want to meditate on God's word. Maybe I'll do a 24-hour fast. I probably shouldn't have said it out loud, but maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. We'll see. But thank you, folks. Sleep deep, rise and shine bright, and go in peace, and seek the love of the Lord. And we'll get that score bug ready for you, Adam, once it is ready. All right. God bless you all.